Because guess who taught the black girls that dark skin was ugly? The white girls taught them that. So if the black girls called you ugly, I can only imagine what the white girls called you. So stop making excuses for your bunny hopping and just admit you hate yourself. And that's why you're dating and marrying outside the race. See, my issue with you celebrities and entertainers, my issue with you celebrities and entertainers, my issue with you celebrities and you entertainers is you like to console your white slave masters. You like to make them real comfortable by acting like you don't understand what race is. Chad Johnson, you a dark-skinned black man. Ain't no way in hell you gonna sit here and tell me you don't know what white supremacy. Shannon Sharpe, you even darker than he is. From Alabama, I think it is, or Georgia. There's no way in hell you ain't gonna tell me that you don't know what white supremacy is. You two brothers were straight up on that little clip I saw today. And then you went on and said, date who makes you happy. Chad Johnson. I'm gonna come to Snow Bunny Shannon in a minute. I'm gonna come to Snow Bunny Shannon. And Shannon Sharpe, I challenge you to bring me on your podcast. Shannon Sharpe versus the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Is Snow Bunny hopping in the best interest or the worst interest of the black community? I challenge Shannon Sharpe to a debate on your podcast about interracial dating and interracial marriage. You and me on Club Shay Shay. What you gonna do now, bro? What you gonna do now? Me and you, face to face, on your podcast. Let's debate it. Shannon Sharpe versus King Kong consciousness. Is Snow Bunny hopping detrimental to the black community, or is it in the best interest of the black community? And you can have Terrell Owens up there because he be bunny hopping. You can have Chad Ochocinco up there. You can get all the Snow Bunny athletes you want. And let's sit down and have a respectable man-to-man conversation on the topic of bunny hopping in the black community. That's a direct challenge to Shannon Sharpe. Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Them 3 Super Bowls can't save you from the intellectual execution you're going to get from the Prince of Pan-Africanism. But let me continue. Let me continue. Let me continue. Chad Ochocinco, you said, date whoever makes you happy. Shannon, you also said, you just want people to be happy. Chad said, date who makes you happy. And Shannon said, I just want people to be happy. Chad said, date who makes you happy. And Shannon said, I just want people to be happy. Can I ask both of you brothers a question? Chad and Shannon, can I ask y'all a respectable question right now? Chad and Shannon, can I ask y'all a respectable question right now? Does the best interest of the black community, does that ever come across your minds when you're thinking about dating and sexing these white girls and non-African women? I just want to know. Because I keep hearing a whole bunch of individualism in your propaganda. I keep hearing a whole bunch of selfish interests in your narrative about interracial marriage. What about us, bruh? What about us? What about the best interests of the black community? Does that not matter to you, dark-skinned Shannon Sharpe? Does that not matter to you, dark-skinned Chad Ochocinco Johnson? Are you meaning to tell me you don't see this vast transfer of wealth that's taking place in the black community every time a black man marries a non-black woman, and especially when a celebrity black man marries a non-black woman? Are you two intelligent black men trying to tell me you don't notice the great transfer of wealth that takes place in the black community when a white snow bunny decides to divorce her celebrity black husband? Come on, brothers. I know you're more intelligent than that. I know you're more intelligent than that. I know you more intelligent than that. Now, some of you are going to say that Chad and Shannon have children with black women. Some of you are going to say Chad and Shannon have children with black women, so they clearly don't have a snow bunny bias, even though Shannon dates nothing but snow bunnies. Some of you are going to argue that they don't have a snow bunny a snow bunny bias. Chad doesn't have a light-skinned Latina bias because he got children with black women. Shannon has children with black women, so he clearly don't have a preference for snow bunnies, even though that's all he dates. Well, I got news for you. That argument is useless and futile. Do you know why? Why is the argument that Chad and Shannon have children with black women, why does that not disqualify them as being light-skinned supremacists or snow bunny supremacists? You know why? Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of children by black women. It didn't stop him from being a racist. I said Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of black children with black women. George Washington had a whole plantation of black children with black women. So what are we talking about? Don't we have racist Southern Republicans who fathered black children with black women? Did that stop them from being racist? Did that stop them from being the bigot? Did that stop them from being white supremacists? So don't come to me and say just because a black man had children with a black women, that means that they don't prefer light skin or white skin. You Negroes are out of your mind. You Negroes are out of your mind. You Negroes are out of your mind. Thomas Jefferson had a whole plantation of children with black women. George Washington had a whole plantation of children with black women. Just because you laid down and made a baby with a black woman does not mean you don't think light skin is better. And it does not mean you don't think white women are better. Cut the nonsense out. Cut the nonsense out. Let me come back to Shannon one time. And again, I respect both of my brothers. These are not personal attacks. We're dealing with the psychological state of black men. And while black men don't feel that they need to be obligated to black women, while black men don't feel they need to be loyal to black women. Because guess what? Guess what, family? Guess what, family? Guess what? 95% of white men marry white women. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. Let me say it again for the people who don't hear me in the back. 95% of white men marry white women. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. 95% of white people marry white people, but 25% of black men marry non-black women. Wow. Look at that. 1 in 4 black men will marry someone who's not black. See how the white man sticks with his? See how the white man, he go dating non-white women, but it's not an epidemic like it is in our community. Yeah, the white man, he marries out the race sometimes, but it's not an epidemic like it is in our community. 95% of white men marry white women. 25% of black men marry non-black women. And when we control for income, the more money the black man makes, the more likely he will end up marrying a non-black woman. And the black man marries outside of his community more than all other men in America put together. Let me say this again. Let me say this again. Black men in America marry outside their race more than all other men in America put together as a percentage of your demographic in society. You really want me to believe that your racial inferiority complex plays no role in your selection of mates? Brother Chad, respectfully, brother, because I like Brother Chad. I was a fan of yours when you played. But Brother Chad, do you really want me to believe that your dark skin had nothing to do with why you pursued light-skinned Latino women to be your wives? Do you really think I'm that stupid? You're dealing with a psychologist, bruh. This is what I do. I analyze human behavior for a living. I've studied it my entire life. Do you really think I'm silly enough to think that your dark skin had nothing to do with why you pursued light-skinned Latino women to be your wives? Shannon Sharpe, you are too intelligent. Shannon Sharpe, you are too intelligent, Shannon Sharpe. For me to believe, for you to think I'm going to believe that your dark skin has nothing to do with why you only date white women. You are too intelligent to think I'm going to believe that crap. You and I know, Chad and I know, we all know that your dark skin color and how you've been treated as a result of your dark skin color. I said your dark skin color, Shannon, your dark skin color, Chad, and I belong on the same spectrum, but I happen to be proud of mine and I don't date out my race. But your dark skin color has a big reason to do with why Chad pursues light skin and why Shannon only dates pale skin. There's a psychological defense mechanism that was articulated by the European father of white psychology, Sigmund Freud. There was a psychological defense mechanism that was articulated by the European father of white psychology. And it was called projection. Let me tell you what projection is. This is a psychological defense mechanism. Projection involves individuals attributing their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, and motives to another person. It's called projection. Chad, Shannon, Terrell Owens, and all other black men, especially celebrities who only date non-black women, you are projecting your self-hate onto black women. These allegations that black women called you ugly when you were a kid, these allegations that black girls didn't want to be bothered with you when you were in high school, I'm not so sure that they were true. And even if they are true, you had some feelings of self-hatred and insecurity yourself. And you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. I said you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. I said you are projecting onto black women what you feel about yourself. So let me ask you a question. Because see, Shannon said he thinks Tay Diggs allowed the black community to make decisions for him. Well, guess what, Shannon? Are you not aware, brother Shannon, that in every other culture, in every other community, are you not aware, brother Shannon, that in every other culture, in every other community, are you not aware, brother Shannon, that in every other culture and every other community, people's decisions are influenced by how it affects their community? Did you know that, Shannon? That in the white community, People's decisions are affected by how they affect other white people. In the Asian community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect other Asian people. In the untouchable community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect other people. In the Arab community, people's decisions are affected by how they affect people in their community. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Only in the black community, Mr. Shannon Sharpe, do we make decisions without taking into account how it affects other black people. So when you make ridiculous statements like, Brother Shannon Sharpe, respectfully, when you make ridiculous statements like I think he allowed the community to make the decisions for him, you don't understand how community works, Snow Bunny Shannon. Snow Bunny Shannon, you don't understand how the community works. Community is a compound word. It means common unity. Community is a compound word. It means common unity. That's what community means, Shannon Sharpe. I respect Taye Diggs that he took into account how his community felt about him marrying a privileged white woman. I appreciate Taye Diggs for being affected by that. The problem, Mr. Shannon Sharpe, is the fact that you are completely dedicated to white women who you know only date you because you are rich and famous. Shannon Sharpe, there's no way under God's heaven you're going to convince me that you don't know the white women you date are only dating you because you are rich and you are famous. And the sad thing about it is you are willing. Many of you rich black men, celebrities in particular, you are willing to risk your financial success just to sleep around with white women. And that, sir, is a damn shame and a crime against African ancestors. But before I move on, I want to ask Chad, Terrell, and Shannon, and all other bunny hoppers in our community. Before I move on, I want to ask Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and Shannon Sharpe a few clarifying questions. I want to go back to the black girls called y'all ugly in school, and that traumatized you so much that you're dating black white women in your 40s. All due respect, gentlemen, that sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive. That sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive. That sounds like a bunch of, as Shannon would say, bull jive. So you mean to tell me you were so traumatized by black girls calling you dark and ugly in grade school? You were so traumatized by black women calling you dark and ugly in grade school that you just had to date white women. So let me ask you brothers a question. Chad, you are from Miami. Shannon, you are from the South. Terrell Owens, let me see where you're from. Where's Terrell Owens from? Where's Terrell Owens from? See, we're going to get to the bottom of this tonight. I love my brothers. Don't get me wrong. They my brothers. I'm still waiting for a donation check for FDMG from all of them. I'm still waiting for a Where's Terrell Owens from? Terrell Owens, let me see here. Terrell Owens is from Mississippi. No, I don't think that's correct. Let me find it. Y'all be making up stuff. Terrell Owens is from Alabama. I don't know if that's his birth city, but he went to high school in Alabama and he went to college in Tennessee. Terrell Owens went to high school in Alabama and college in Tennessee. Terrell Owens, and we hope you get well, my brother. Terrell Owens, I hope you get well. You went to high school in Alabama and college in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Shannon, let me double check Shannon. Let me double check Shannon Sharpe. Brother Shannon is from Georgia, and you went to Savannah State. So you from Georgia. Chad is from Miami, the South. Terrell went to high school in Alabama, college in racist-ass Tennessee. And Shannon Sharpe, you're from the South. All three of you dark-skinned black men are from the South. I have a question. All three of my dark-skinned brothers are from the South. All three of them. Dark-skinned Terrell Owens is from the South. Dark-skinned Chad Ochocinco is from the South. Dark-skinned Shannon Sharpe is from the South. I'm dark-skinned too. So let me ask you brothers a question. You mean to tell me you were more traumatized by black girls calling you dark and ugly in grade school than you were by white girls calling you the N-word? Are you telling me you were more traumatized by black girls calling you dark and ugly than you were by white girls calling you the N-word, and white people calling you the N-word, and white boys calling you the N-word? I smell a lie. Somebody is not being honest. Somebody is not being honest. You are not going to tell me that black girls calling you ugly traumatized you more than black and white girls, than white boys and girls calling you the N-word. You're not going to convince me that you were more traumatized by black girls calling you ugly than you were by white boys and white girls and white people treating you in racially discriminatory ways, discriminating against you, being bigoted towards you, and calling it N-word. If you were being honest, you were more traumatized by the white girls than the black girls. If you Negroes were being honest, you were more traumatized by the white girls than the black girls. If you Negroes were being honest, you were more traumatized by the white girls calling you the N-word than the black girls calling you dark and ugly. If you agree with me in the chat right now, can I get some fists from my brothers and some hearts from my queens? Who is agreeing with the psychological analysis of the Prince of Pan-Africanism right now? Ain't no way in hell Terrell Owens, Shannon Sharpe, and Chad Ochocinco Johnson were more traumatized by black girls calling them ugly than white boys and girls calling them the N-word. You's a damn lie. I used to live in North Carolina for a couple years. I was only there for about 3 years. And in 3 years, I had a principal twist my arm and throw me up against the ground. He threw me up against the outside. He threw me up against the school wall onto the ground. And I remember when I used to have 2 white playmates who lived across the street from us. Their white father came across the street. I was only 7 years old. Their white father came across the street, knocked on my door, and told my father to keep my black ass away from his house and away from his children. And I was only there for 3 years. I only lived in the South for 3 years. You ninjas lived down there your whole childhood and college, and you're trying to tell me that you were more traumatized by black girls calling you ugly than white people calling you the N-word. That's a damn lie, and y'all know it. That's a damn lie, and y'all know it. That's a damn lie, and y'all know it. Let me ask y'all a question. This is to all dark-skinned black men who date outside the race. This is to all black men, regardless of color, who date outside the race. Does your complexion have anything to do with your preference? Is it possible you hate how you look so much you can't stand to be next to it in your bedroom? Is it possible you hate how you look so much you can't stand to be next to it in the bedroom? I'm asking a question. Is it possible you hate your beautiful, dark, richly melanated skin so much that you can't stand to be next to it in your bedroom? Does your complexion have something to do with the women that you date? So let me get this right. Black girls called you ugly. So do you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome? The black girls called you ugly. So you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome? If the black girls called you ugly, I'm damn sure the white girls didn't call you handsome. Because guess who taught the black girls that dark skin was ugly? The white girls taught them that. So if the black girls called you ugly, I can only imagine what the white girls called you. So stop making excuses for your bunny hopping and just admit you hate yourself. And that's why you're dating and marrying outside the race.